Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining this roundtable on sustainable agriculture and farming in times of COVID-19. The role of Friend of the Earth certification in the path towards regenerative and zero impact agriculture. 16 companies, of which 15 have Friend of the Earth certified products, and one certification body will be among our speaking guests today. From 2 continents, Europe and Latin America, but most important, producing 16 different agro-food products, and in one case, textiles and fashion products from wool, from recycled wool. Among the food products which are represented are Parmesan cheese, poultry, chicken, apricots, meat, coffee, rice, honey, strawberries, tomato, pomegranate, olive oil, eggs, wine, and as I mentioned, even textiles. Some of the companies are smaller size, in some cases artisanal producers. Some others are major worldwide leaders in their field, packing for a great number of international retailers. At the end of the session, we will be open for questions and answers. So you can send us your questions on the chat. I will pose 2 questions to each of the company's representatives in order to know about their products and processing, their sourcing and suppliers, their markets, their target markets, and of course their sustainable agriculture and processing initiatives, achievements and objectives, and how they are coping with the COVID-19 situation and how their sustainable engagements are affected, positively or negatively. We will also hear from them about the relevance of sustainability certifications like Friend of the Earth in their specific fields, and how COVID-19, again, will affect consumers and customers' interest towards sustainability and certification. I recommend the speakers to mute your microphones when not speaking, and to remember to activate the microphone when speaking. I would really appreciate to keep the level of attention of the audience high, to limit your answer to 1.5 minutes, after which I will ring a bell like this. Hopefully you can hear it. It's not actually a bell, but that's the sound you're gonna hear. So before I get started with the roundtable, please allow me to provide you with some information about who we are, the World Sustainability Organization, and what we do. I am founder and director of the World Sustainability Organization, which developed and manages 2 sustainability projects, Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth. Friend of the Sea started in 2008 as initially focused on certification of products from sustainable fisheries and aquaculture. It has become the major certification program of this kind globally in terms of metric tons certified. Over 1,000 companies from more than 70 countries have Friend of the Sea certified products. The logo is on the private labels of Walmart, Walgreens, Reve, Metro, Aldi, Auchan, Lidl, Leader Price, Carrefour, Esselunga, Eurospin, Coop, Conad, Fair Price, City Super, and many other retailers. The full list is available on the website, as well as private companies from all over the world. We are the label of reference for sustainability in the omega-3 supplements industry. Audits are carried out by independent certification bodies, themselves to be accredited by the national accreditation bodies. So to all effects, we are a third-party certification. In recent years, we have expanded the scope of the Friend of the Sea certification to award with the Friend of the Sea logo other products and services which respect the marine habitat, including sustainable shipping, sustainable seaweeds, sustainable restaurants, and many more. In 2018, we launched a parallel program, Friend of the Earth, which has focused initially on the certification of products from sustainable agriculture and farming. Coffee, rice, quinoa, wine, oil, cheese, fruits, eggs, poultry, and meat are among the products certified according to our sustainability requirements. We have then expanded the scope of the Friend of the Earth certification to cover also sustainable textiles and fashion products. We have dedicated an increasing part of our budget to conservation projects and campaigns. This in turn is a very important added value for those companies which have products certified Friend of the Sea or Friend of the Earth. as they can immediately and rightly claim that they are supporting our conservation projects. We do our best to inform the public about our projects and also to promote the certified products. In this process, we have been mentioned on BBC, CNBC, Time, and many others. And we are more and more popular on social media, and we propose several online awareness and information programs, including webinars and courses. The latter is free for companies with Friend of the Sea or Friend of the Earth certified products. In conclusion, we are the only platform, the World Sustainability Organization, which can propose two consumer-friendly sustainability certification labels covering the whole food product range, as well as non-food products and services. With over 30 years experience, completely independent, accredited, international, multi-product, strict but affordable in cost, and always including social accountability requirements in our standards. So let's start now with the roundtable. We will move through the companies in alphabetical order and one of the two questions at the time. So when I call your name and company, please activate your microphone and then feel free to speak. So the first question goes out to the company starting the round, which is Antica Latteria Ducale. Lorenzo Balzerini is part of the family owning the company. So some of the speakers will speak in Italian or other languages, and I will translate. In this case, Mr. Balzarini, as far as I know, will speak in English. So please reply to the first question of this round. Tell us more about your company and also about your initiatives to be more sustainable and how COVID might have impacted all this in your company in the past year.
Grazie, Paolo. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lorenzo Balzerini. I am the son of Lino, who is the owner of Antica Latteria Ducale. First of all, thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here and a great opportunity to talk a little bit about our business. So Antica Latteria Ducale is a dairy farm producing Parmesan Reggiano cheese with a closed loop supply chain model. So very simply, we take on the roles that normally belong to different actors in a standard supply chain model. So we look after our own fields, we grow the forage to feed our cows, we look after the cows, we milk them, we transform the milk into cheese, we age the cheese, and lastly, we sell it. We try to have as much as possible a direct-to-consumer approach, as we think this is what's most rewarding for our type of business and the focus we have on quality rather than on quantity. Lately, as everyone else, we've been affected by the COVID-19 situation, and given the nature of our business, we try to put in place all the possible precautions to avoid stopping production, as of course this would be very difficult when we're talking about cows, feeding them, milking them, and lastly producing cheese. Luckily, we've been able to keep up our sales as well, given the fact that we had already developed online sales through a couple of different channels. And this has been greatly helpful to keep our sales going and, of course, supporting the business during this challenging time.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
You're welcome.
So the next speaker is Patrick Casley, Marketing Director of the company Guidi Roncofreddo.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation. Our company consists of two divisions: the fruit and vegetable division, which produces apricots, and we have 350 hectares of production, which produces about 10,000 tons. We also have 30 hectares of plums, which produce about 800 tons. All of these products are grown with a concept of zero residual integrated production. So fundamentally, there is a complete absence of pesticides on the finished product. Another division of ours is the zootechnic section, which deals in poultry. So that's specifically roosters, guinea fowl, and slow-growing chickens. So high quality product with about 7 million head per year. The production follows a voluntary labeling specifications, slow growth. So there's from 70 to 100 day growth for each product, depending on the variety. And they're all GMO free. So, and the other major feature for our production is that they are completely without antibiotics for many years. 90% of our production goes to large scale distribution, and the remaining goes to wholesale and retail.
Thank you very much. Next company is Bovinmarche.
Ok, se vuoi provo in inglese, poi mi dici tu se è il caso.
Come preferisci, se vuoi in italiano io poi traduco.
Ok.
Come preferisci.
Ok, allora la presentazione, la nostra cooperativa è una cooperativa di piccoli allevatori di bovini da carne, di razza marchigiana e di ovini, situati per lo più nella zona appenninica, quindi nella zona montana e pedemontana.
So the Bovinmarche is a cooperative of small farmers raising both cows as well as sheep in the area near the Apennines slopes.
Sì, siamo una cooperativa nata nel 1987 per identificare, tracciare e valorizzare la qualità delle nostre produzioni. Siamo localizzati nella regione Marche, quindi nel centro Italia.
So the cooperative was started in 1987 to identify, trace and give added value to the production of the small farmers, and it is located in the Marche region, which is in central Italy by the Adriatic Sea.
Sì, e il nostro, diciamo, mercato è suddiviso un po' su 3 livelli e abbiamo il circuito tradizionale delle macellerie, butcher shop, e la grande distribuzione, diciamo, di alta qualità, e poi l'Oreca, quindi tutto il settore della distribuzione, ristorazione. E queste, diciamo che in questo periodo di lockdown e di crisi dovuta alla pandemia, quello che ha risentito di più è stato il terzo settore, ovviamente, quello legato alla ristorazione, agli agriturismi e agli hotel.
So the target market of Bovinmarche are basically 3 areas. One is the national butcher shops network. The other one is the retail chains. And the third one, which has been most badly hit by the COVID-19 issues and related lockdowns, is the Horeca, so the restaurants and the tourist related hotels, etc., for consumption outside the house.
Sì, è il settore che ne ha risentito di più per, diciamo, in parte compensato questo calo di vendite con l'aumento delle macellerie tradizionali e della grande distribuzione, e poi abbiamo organizzato velocemente anche una distribuzione a casa, diciamo, e una vendita online di pacchi di carne nel periodo proprio di lockdown totale.
So this negative impact has been compensated by the relatively stable or growth of the retail chains and the butcher shop network, and also by the online sales.
So.
Okay, so next speaker from Monteverde Coffee in Costa Rica, Mr. Guillermo.
Good morning. Café Monteverde was founded in 1989. We are a group of 14 members representing 11 families. Our farming activities in coffee root back to 1950s. We grow, process, roast, and directly sell our coffee in the national, local, international market. We also export green beans. Café Monteverde also runs educational experiences about sustainability for the local community, for local, national, and international students, as well as for tourists coming to Monteverde, since Monteverde is an ecotourism destination very important in Costa Rica. These programs on education are run by the Life Monteverde. Life Monteverde is our educational branch at the company. Because of the COVID situation, during the last 10 months, we lost the majority of our consumers for the roasted coffee, the tourists visiting Monteverde. So while many companies in Costa Rica had to fire a big portion of the staff, we decided to keep 100% of the staff, but at part-time. Gradually, we are improving our capacities to sell coffee online. Since May, June, we opened our own online coffee shop. And recently in October, we started also selling our virtual coffee too. So in this way, we are trying to confront the challenges of COVID. Day before yesterday, we received a group of our coffee pickers from Nicaragua, who every year come to help us, and this time following huge important protocols to protect their health. So I want to tell you that this is a challenge not only for us, but also for the seasonal workers crossing the borders to help producers around the world.
Thank you, Guillermo. And now the speaker is Mrs. Alice Cerruti, owner of Cascina, Oschiena.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this invitation and for this interesting opportunity also to meet other colleagues. I'm a rice farmer. I'm the first generation of active farmer. But I am here thanks to my grandfather that bought our farm. So I am lucky that it is a family farm. It was not run by my family, but mine is a family farm. So first thing to say, because I am very lucky. But what I did is change. Rice cultivation, of course, is an intensive production. What we are trying to do is to farm sustainably, to combine farming with environment. Our pillars are a sustainable farming approach, attention to history and environment, direct selling, as the previous colleagues were saying before, and we are now developing didactics with schools and tourism. I know it is not the right time, but we are and stay positive. As I was saying, we have a sustainable approach to farming. So what this means is that we farm historical varieties. We keep FRI-EL part of our fields, our margins. We sow cover crops in wintertime to increase quality of our soils, and we combine it with environment. Till now, I started farming in 2008. We planted over 5,000 trees. I converted an area from rice farming to wood, and it is actually the only wood in the plain, in the rice plain area. And an amazing project that we managed to achieve after 4 years of planning in 2019 is the total conversion of 1/4 of our farmland, 25 hectares, from rice cultivation to natural reserve for biodiversity. For us, really, we believe that the quality of the product is not only what you find in a plate. It's not even 25%. We think that's the real quality. The quality is also what comes before. So how the product is farmed, where does it come from? And I feel that consumers are really more eager to know more and to giving the right value to these aspects. This is why I am very positive. Of course, going back to the COVID topic, we had a great loss, of course, for restaurants. Over 60-70% of our production goes that we sell directly goes to restaurant. Imagine carnaroli rice, of course, for risotto. But on the other hand, I think that we have to strive and increase the bonds with private consumers and purchasing groups, and of course think that all of this will pass and restaurants will strive again, and we are here for them.
Thank you very much, Alice. The next speaker is Mr. Andrea Baiardi of Cascina Raglio di Luna. Cascina is like the Italian for a small farm, let's say, even though sometimes it's a big one, but this is more or less the translation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Paolo. I'm Andrea. Thanks for the inviting. Our small farm actually is a mix between agriculture activities and social activities, aimed to provide educational services and projects for schools. Friend of the Earth certificate products are strawberries, honey, blackberries, and hemp, the legal one in Italy. The cultivation and above all the breeding of bees, as well as representing our agricultural production, is also a pretext and a vehicle for learning within our social activities. Cascina Raglio di Luna is a small farm whose strength is really the diversity of the activities that are practiced. So agriculture, a kindergarten for children aged from 0 to 3 years old, environmental education projects for schools, summer and winter camps, and professional training in agriculture and environment. The breeding of bees is the most complex activity for us due to the countless climate change and biodiversity loss that affect the bees. So the decrease in the environmental impact in our farming practices acts on the beekeeping methods and the increase of biodiversity on the farm's lands. During the COVID-19 emergency, the production of both strawberries and honey was actually excellent because strawberries and bee are the main activities. And the marketing, especially for strawberries, has improved thanks to the home delivery practice. So social channels have contributed to this success and made it possible. Meanwhile, all the other social activities were locked down. So we have optimized the spring of 2020 by shifting the bulk of our forces to agriculture.
Thank you very much, Andrea. The next speaker from Brazil, hopefully she made it. Luciana, você está aí? Me está ouvindo?
Olá, bom dia a todos. Boa tarde, Itália. É um prazer estar aqui com vocês. Eu sou a Luciana da Dona Rufina. É uma marca de moda slow fashion aqui do Pampa Gaúcho, quase fronteira com o Uruguai, onde eu trabalho com o resgate da cultura local, das manualidades com a lã e também com o reaproveitamento do couro que estava sendo descartado.
Okay, so the company is in Brazil, in the Pampa area of Brazil, in the border with Uruguay, and the peculiarity of their production and products is the fact that they are reusing leather and wool to produce new fashion products.
E o certificado da Friend of the Earth foi extremamente importante. Aliás, ele está sendo extremamente importante. Eu estive aí na época do Covid, onde nós começamos a auditoria, e ele tem me aberto muitas portas, principalmente na questão de certificação, né, para eu poder certificar, então, da onde vêm meus produtos, os meus insumos. Isso tem me aberto muitas portas com outros países, como Argentina, Uruguai, que são aqui perto, né, que têm interesse também em resgatar essas manualidades com a lã.
Okay, so Luciana is telling us that for her, the Friend of the Earth certification has been very important. It was achieved following an audit in COVID time, it opened several doors, in particular with other countries which have a rising interest on these subjects, and also the reintroduction of tradition and manualities that would otherwise be gone lost, such as Argentina and Uruguay.
E
Yes.
a partir do selo também, algumas startups me procuraram para criar uma política de rastreabilidade do produto, que eu vou deixar aqui no chat depois, que eu acho que pode ser bem interessante até para a própria certificação, para ajudar no processo, porque faz toda a rastreabilidade através de um QR Code, da onde começa o produto e até como tu retorna esse produto para a Dona Rufina. Acho que pode ser bem interessante para todos que participam aqui. Muito obrigada.
Okay, so together with some startups which got interested in the assessment methodology of a Friend of the Earth, they further developed a project based on traceability of the product to confirm to consumers and to buyers where the origin comes from, and in your case, when it's sustainable, it's obviously very important to show the origin is what is declared. In your case, reuse of products and materials.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, muito obrigado.
Obrigada.
So, thank you, Luciana. And the next speaker, here you see also some of the products and production of Luciana fashion products, Dona Rufina. And so the next speaker who can prepare is Mr. Alessio Orlandi, Sales and Marketing Director of FRI-EL Greenhouse, a producer of tomato with the brand Horto.
Thank you all. Thank you for the invitation. Good afternoon all. FRI-EL Greenhouse is a company pretty new. We are established in 2015 to grow tomatoes. So in other words, we are technological growers. We are a business unit of FRI-EL Green Power Holding, which is an Italian and European leader of renewable energies. So sustainability is in our DNA. So from the beginning, so 5 years ago, we were looking for an intelligent way to use an important byproduct from our own biogas central, which is hot water. So we started to use this hot water to heat the glass houses. We are the only one glass houses in Italy for production of tomatoes. We also recover rainwater for the irrigation, and at the end of the cycle, the plants become energy for the next cycle. So we are in a circular economy complete. And thanks to this project, we are able to grow tomatoes year-round, so 365 days a year. In this period, within COVID experience, we didn't have some changes because fortunately our clients are the most important Italian, German and Austrian retailer. So they are increasing their sales. For us, fortunately, we haven't any problem in this period.
Alessio, your production can be described as hydroponics. Am I wrong?
Yeah. We are hydroponics, out of soils production. And thanks to this, we are able to grow also in winter, which in the north of Italy, the climate is too hard because it's too cold. But thanks to hot water from the biogas, we are able to maintain the temperature for growing also in winter time.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next speaker is a special one. Stefano Magnaghi, Research and Development of Italian Cricket Farm. Mr. Signor Magnaghi, Stefano.
Ok, mi sente?
Sì.
Buongiorno a tutti, sono qui a rappresentare Italian Cricket Farm, che è un allevamento di insetti, nello specifico grilli. Questo allevamento nasce nel 2017 nei pressi di Torino e attualmente siamo il più grande allevamento di insetti d'Italia con una produzione stimata di circa 250.000 grilli al giorno. Alleviamo grilli perché il grillo è molto probabilmente una delle fonti proteiche più sostenibili per il futuro umano. Si considera che richieda 1/20 delle risorse rispetto agli allevamenti bovini. Ed è per questo che quindi da circa 3-4 anni abbiamo iniziato questo tipo di avventura. Per quanto riguarda la nostra produzione, il sistema per l'appunto genera pochi impatti perché richiede poche risorse. Il fatto che richieda poche risorse ha fatto sì che durante questa crisi mondiale il nostro semplice ma efficiente sistema non abbia subito praticamente nessun contraccolpo. Inoltre il nostro sistema distributivo è sempre stato basato sulla... non ha subito nessun problema.
Okay. I will just translate. So Mr. Magnaghi represents here today as a research and development department of Italian Cricket Farm. As from the name of the company, it's a company which is farming insects, in particular crickets. It was started in 2017. It is based near Turin, and they produce about 250,000 crickets per day. Crickets are probably the most sustainable way of producing animal proteins. From the data that he's describing about to raise the equivalent amount of proteins, one has to use 1/20th generalizing of resources compared to cow raising. It generates less impact as a consequence, and because of this limited use of resources, limited need of resources, the impact of COVID has been not felt by the company, has been let's say irrelevant in terms of the economics of the company. Thank you.
Attualmente l'uso dell'insetto per l'alimentazione umana non è consentito. L'azienda quindi si impegna nel produrre insetti per gli animali da compagnia e per gli animali d'allevamento. Un altro progetto che ha l'azienda in corso è quello di utilizzare il proprio concime, che presenta degli aspetti nutrizionali per quanto concerne la nutrizione vegetale molto importanti, e cercheremo in futuro di normalizzare anche questo prodotto. Questo prodotto quindi verrà utilizzato soprattutto nelle aziende del territorio circostante, e in queste aziende del territorio circostante abbiamo già dei pre-contratti. Allocheremo presso le realtà del territorio quindi dei piccoli moduli d'allevamento, di modo che le aziende agricole così potranno avere a loro volta un'altra entrata economica.
Currently, insects products are not authorized for human consumption, at least in Italy. And so the company is providing these products for the pet food market for pets, for the farm, as feed for some farmed animals, and also as fertilizers. They also developing partnership, a sort of franchising with nearby farms, transferring to them the know-how in order for them to then develop structures in order to be able to also raise crickets.
L'utilizzo del marchio in oggetto per Italian Cricket Farm sarà molto utile, perché per quanto riguarda soprattutto la mangimistica per animali d'allevamento, e qui mi riferisco ai mangimi per i pesci e gli insetti utilizzati per la nutrizione delle galline, ovviamente la concorrenza principale per noi è la soia o altri prodotti poco sostenibili. Il nostro prodotto attualmente ha un prezzo, un costo molto più elevato, e l'utilizzo di questo marchio ci auguriamo ci aiuti a certificare la nostra realtà e la sostenibilità di questa. Per quanto riguarda il futuro in generale, superati i problemi legislativi che la nostra azienda si sta impegnando, poiché dialoga continuamente con l'Unione Europea per fornire le certificazioni inerenti alla salubrità del nostro alimento, ci auguriamo entro fine 2021 di poter commercializzare i nostri insetti anche per il consumo umano.
Okay, so the last note, Friend of the Sea certification will be very important for cricket farm. They are in the process of undergoing the assessment. And by the way, we have already certified another insect farm producing meal for aquaculture in France. It's from, I think it's called soldier wasp or something like that. Soldier wasp larvae. And it's called InnovaFeed. So there's more information on our website in this regard, but it's a different company also in the type of insects that are farmed. But anyway, Mr. Magnaghi is telling us that Friend of the Earth will be very relevant, and he explains that currently there are two target markets, feed for fish and for chickens and poultry, are using an alternative product, at least the mainstream companies are using soya, which even though one cannot generalize, is known to be of higher impact and in some cases very, very detrimental for the environment. And so the use of insects meal could be a very valid alternative once also the cost will be, let's say, balanced to the appropriate level. And he hopes that in the future, possibly by the end of 2021, the new legislation at EU level will allow the use for human consumption. Grazie, thank you very much, Mr. Magnaghi. And the next speaker will be Stefano Grieco, Director of Doria SPA Tomato Producer. Signor Greco?
Paolo,
allora sono Francesco Miracolo.
Il Francesco Miracolo per la Doria.
Ah, ok, scusatemi.
Ok, ciao.
Sorry.
Responsabile qualità
Miracolo.
e fornitore, sì, responsabile qualità e fornitore.
Ok.
Thank you very much. Prego.
Allora io parlo in italiano,
Sì, io non c'è problema.
Mi devi scusare.
Ci mancherebbe.
Allora, la Doria in realtà è un'azienda che è un gruppo più che altro che è composta comunque da 6 stabilimenti.
In the meanwhile, I will translate. So La Doria is a major group, is one of the biggest producers of tomato sauces in the world, possibly, with 6 major factory plants. 3 in Campania, 1 in Basilicata, 2 in Emilia, the 3 regions in Italy, 2 of them in the south and 1 in the central Italy. They focus their production on products from the earth. Tomato is number 1 in their production, but also legumes, which in part come also from other countries, not only from Italy. And also the ready-made sauces. The company is very much oriented on sustainability, and COVID has really impacted, but positively, but also it made the company, think even more and invest even more in terms also of marketing on sustainability. When COVID started, basically the warehouses were emptied by the big requests of preserved products, in particular tomato, and they currently obtain the tomatoes from approximately 3,000 hectares, mainly in southern Italy, in Puglia, but also in central Italy.
Ok, stavo dicendo che anche nel momento in cui abbiamo iniziato a pianificare l'attività agricola relativamente al pomodoro, abbiamo avuto qualche difficoltà iniziale perché eravamo proprio in pieno lockdown.
Ok, benissimo. So COVID started just at the beginning of the tomato harvesting season. And so this generated some delays, which, however, were compensated by the good harvest of the good season. And more important has been the difficulty in the initial months to find the labor force because of the lockdown situation in many areas. But then also this was managed. In general, Doria has done over the years a great deal of awareness towards their suppliers, both in terms of laying down and enforcing protocols for lower impact on the environment, as well as social accountability, which in this sector is a very much felt issue. Grazie mille.
Okay.
Parola. So the next speaker is going to be Mrs. Rosalinda Surico, is going to speak on behalf of the company.
Sì, allora Masseria è un'azienda pugliese, è uno stabilimento di trasformazione prettamente principalmente della melagrana, collocato all'interno di un frutteto di circa 300 ettari.
Okay, so I will translate. The company is located in Puglia, in Apulia, the hill of Italy, in the south of Italy. It's mainly producing pomegranate in about 500 hectares, while others 10 hectares are dedicated to goji product. Mainly they promote the pomegranate as a very healthy product with a lot of health values. They produce of the 500,000 tons of products. This is sold in part as whole, dried or frozen, but also in an increasing part as bottled juices, not concentrated, sometimes added with some citrus fruits. The market areas and countries are Canada, Switzerland, Netherlands, Germany, and France, where this production is becoming very popular.
Un'altra particolarità dei nostri prodotti è quella di essere realizzati senza l'aggiunta di zuccheri, di additivi o di conservanti o coloranti vari. Quindi...
Okay, so their policy is to use no sugar, no additives, no dyes, and by means of a high pressure technology, they manage to reduce the microbial charge, and the company is very much engaged in reducing its environmental impact. In fact, it has a photovoltaic plant of 750 kilowatts, and also they strive to reduce the impact in the agricultural production as well as in the processing. So they are basically reusing the outside part of the fruit, create humus, which is then reintroduced in the fields as fertilizer, as well as in another line, produce nutraceutical integrators for the nutraceutical market. Grazie, thank you very much. I'll move on to the other company, which is represented by Antonella Marano, the quality director of Maringolo Eugenio, producer of olive oil. Signora Marano.
Sì, ciao, buonasera, buon pomeriggio a tutti. È un piacere far parte di questa finestra sul mondo, vedere tanti volti che in questo momento vivono nel mondo come noi la produzione. La ditta Maringolo Eugenio è un'azienda che produce olio extravergine d'oliva nel sud dell'Italia, in Calabria, nella provincia di Cosenza, e affacciata sul Mar Ionio.
Okay, so the company is based in near Cosenza, facing the Ionio Sea, as I think you can see from this beautiful image. It produces olives for extra virgin oil in 170 hectares. 170?
No, 70 sono di produzione.
70?
70, sì.
On 70 hectares of own production, and they are also sourcing part from Tunisia, and they request their suppliers to be compliant to their protocols for lower environmental impact. Also the ones in Tunisia, their target markets are America, Europe, Germany, but also the southern part of the world, I believe probably Africa and other countries. COVID has not really impacted their production. However, it has morally strengthened their convincement to keep on moving and producing in an environmentally and socially sustainable way. Posto?
Ok, sì.
Okay. Thank you very much. And now it's the time to speak to Paolo Boeri, owner of Olio Roy.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Is it good, the sound?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So, welcome to everyone. I'm a colleague of Antonella. So we are olive oil producer, not in Calabria, we are in Liguria, so in the north, and precisely close to France. So we are in the extreme west of Liguria. Our valley are really steep, so everything is still made by hand. All our trees are pruned, cultivated, and the olives picked just by hand. So a lot of people that work in our farm and that help us to get the fruit and carry to our mill. So we started in 1900, and I'm the 5th generation actually. We still produce. So this picture, there's our old mill. Nowadays we have all the brand new mill with modern technology, and we are really happy to work with Friend of the Earth because our way of work is always about the environment. Because without the nature we are nothing. So we cannot produce without the queen, the mother nature. We must be really, really respectful, and that's how we like to work. Everything is handmade. We care. We don't use pesticides. We just do organic cultivation. And actually, we own 15,000 trees spread on 50 hectares. The only problem is that they're not all together, but divided in small olive groves all around the valley. That make our job a bit more difficult, but it's nice because places after places you can discover different flavors inside the olive oils. Also, if they are made with just one type of olive, that's the Tajasca, so the main quality, the only quality you can find in Imperia province, so in all our province, is that olive really, really small, but rich of oil. So we can have the double more or less. So usual olive have 10%, 12 of oil inside. We reach 20, 25 easily. So.
Paolo, I remember that you also use the branches cut off from the trees and propose them as organic to some foreign markets and so on.
Yeah, we do the branches. After when we prune, we sell the branches as barbecue wood in Germany mainly. Plus we use all the seeds, the stone of the olive once they are crushed. As we burn it to make hot water and to make the warm ambient, like the offices, the mill and everything. So in a certain way, we try to work in a circular economy. So we don't waste anything, and we are able to reuse pretty much 90% of the product we made after the elaboration.
Thank you very much, Paolo. Next speaker, Emanuele Macaluso, quality manager of the company Tedaldi, producer of eggs.
Buonasera a tutti. Allora, la nostra azienda si trova a Meldola, tra le colline romagnole. Produciamo uova da circa 50 anni e i nostri prodotti praticamente comprendono sia uova biologiche all'aperto, a terra, sostenibili e anche senza antibiotici.
So the factory, the plant is based in Meldola, in the Emilia-Romagna region. in the center of Italy. It is an egg producer which has started its activity 50 years ago, producing eggs which are both organic or raised not in cages, basically, open air, and in a sustainable way, as he then further explained. All the animals come from Italy, and suppliers in Italy, in part in their own production, in part sourcing externally, with a very strict traceability. And all of them are not only fed with natural feed, and in particular, the product that you see here, which is the one certified as Friend of the Earth, sustainable, originates from chickens which are raised with lower densities, 20% less than what is requested by law. The male chicks are spared, they are not sacrificed, which is unfortunately a practice basically mandatory because of the lack of new technology. So they are spared and then they are sent to an organic raising. And no antibiotics are used, no OGM feed. The feed are 100% plant-based, basically. The feces, the waste from the animals is used in biogas plants, and all the energy comes either mostly from the photovoltaic plant or from renewable energy. Thank you very much. The next speaker is a new partner of Friend of the Earth, a new certification body, which is Czech Fruit, which is specialized, as you will hear, in certification for various standards of mainly fruit products, but not only. Mr. Eugenio Covoni, president of Czech Fruit.
I try to speak English. Thank you to Mr. Bry for inviting us to this important event, international event, and until now very, very interesting for us. Czech Fruit is a certification body that operates in Italy since 1983, so 27 years ago it was built. And we are specialized in the agricultural and food certifications and inspections. About our approach to the sustainability, let's say that sustainability and responsibility are pillars of our brand value. So we are very focused on the sustainability, and we accompany our clients in their project of sustainability to offer to the market sustainable products. About our agreement, our partnership with Friend of the Earth, it's new for us. It's very important for us, and the scope of this agreement is to offer to our customers and in general to the Italian market the opportunity to combine an important sustainable scheme like Friend of the Earth with other schemes generally operates in the food sector. We have several schemes, certification schemes that are very, very popular in Italy, but in general in all the world, like Global Gap, in traceability schemes, or zero residues, like one of the hosts speak about. For us, it's important to offer to the market our experience and our skill in the quality sector, in the traceability and sustainable issues.
Can you tell us what are your expectations for the future, for the next months once the COVID is over? Do you think that there will be, or are you feeling that there is a stronger request about sustainability certification?
About COVID, like the companies explain better, also as a certification body, we have to change our approach to the service we offer. For example, in the last period, we introduced a new system of auditing. Is an off-site audit that is in order to respect the limitation and the requirements of the COVID issues. About the future, I think that the sustainability is a pillar of the new European Committee politics. So is important to go towards a sustainable system, to offer sustainable products. And I think that will increase a lot the request of this kind of products and this, and of course also of this kind of certifications.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to, because Mr. Leone is having difficulties in the microphone, but I would not want to lose the opportunity to tell you a little bit about this producer. I put down some notes. The company and the brand Terra dei Re was started in the year 2000 by the Rabasco family. It is based in Rio Vero in Vulture, in the province of Potenza, in the region Basilicata in southern Italy. And the vineyards are developed and grow on lava soil, on a soil that has been enriched by the flow of lava because of a nearby volcanic area in the area which is called Vultura. And this gives the wines a special flavor, as you can imagine. The company is very much engaged in sustainable production. And in fact, it has in place a number of measures, both in terms of protocols to grow the actual vineyards in a sustainable way, reducing the impact of any pesticides and other. But also it has deployed a photovoltaic system which basically satisfies their all energy use. It uses tanks for the collection of rainwater in order to reduce also the need for their water footprint, basically, as well as the use of underground storage for the wines reduces greatly their energy consumption. Here are some of the products that are certified. Going back through the list, some of the wines of Terra dei Re. Here again is another view of another product of Tedaldi, one of the eggs which are certified Friend of the Earth. These are some of the ROI certified oils, which, by the way, you can find also, if confirmed, at Italy, the main chain that you find all over the world, as basically they are selected special oil. And here we see products, other products. These are products, pomegranate products, which already carry the Friend of the Earth logo. Some of the products of Doria just printed and ready to go out on the shelves with the Friend of the Earth logo. Some more information regarding what was said before by Italian Cricket Farm regarding the effectiveness in terms of production of protein with crickets. tomato from Horto, displaying the Friend of the Earth logo. I remind you that these are products from hydroponics, which is very efficient also in reducing the environmental impact. And here, some images of the very trendy and fashionable products and the bags and the clothes from Dona Rufina, directly from Brazil. I remind that they are produced from reused leather and wool. And here are some products of Cascina Raglio di Luna, Cascina Oschiena, very special rice for risotto. Coffee from Costa Rica producer, Cafè de Monteverde. And here are some of the products, the meat products of Bovinmarche. And here you can see some of the products with the Friend of the Earth logo from the company Guidi, which is both a market leader in the production of apricots in Europe, as well as a very high quality producer of poultry products. Here you see the first sustainably certified Parmesan in the world, I suppose, from Antica, Latteria, Ducale. And now I will open up the session to questions and answer. I will interrupt my sharing of the screen. And we see all of us nicely grouped here. Let's see if we have some questions. And of course, among the speakers, if you want to add up something, feel free. So somebody congratulating, some information from Dona Rufina and the Cafè Monteverde. Okay, so we have no questions. I think maybe somebody wants to add up some comments. Mr. Guglielmo, let me turn on your audio. Oh, you turned it on. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Related to the second question and the role of the organization doing certification of our products, I can tell you some facts of and then I will ask you if you really believe what I say, if you really trust me. I can tell you that 40% of our farm is under conservation, that 100% of our waste from the coffee process is turned into compost, as well as all of the organic waste from our animal barn, from goat manure, chicken poop, is also composted. I tell you that more than 10 years ago, we don't use any more herbicides as a regular practice in our coffee fields. That we also do integrate pest control, in that way reducing the need of using pesticides. I can tell you that we 100% sun-dried our coffee. And I tell you that we last year had more than 7,000 people participating in educational activities at our farm, from local people, our neighbors, local students, national students, students from abroad, and also tourists. I tell you that we respect the laws in Costa Rica protecting the labor rights, that we provide decent work and room and board for the coffee pickers coming from Nicaragua every year, that we provide land for our staff to grow part of the food they consume. But we need third parties doing certifying this. We also need third parties creating common language about sustainability, common standards, because we may not be sure about that the concept you have about sustainability is the same one I have for us. We also need the certifiers to help us in creating more awareness on consumers about what it is and how it is important to support small-scale farming. Because it is great to certify also large-scale monocrop producers, but we need consumers to understand that by supporting small-scale farming, not only support the economy of the poor people, is supporting the entire life of this planet. Because normally in a small-scale farming, we use less pesticides. in small-scale farming, we do more diversification of our farms. In small-scale farming, we also provide more circular economy opportunity in our countries. And we also need certifiers to help us in connecting directly with the consumers. It is good having our products the opportunity to be sold in large-scale supermarkets, even big online supermarkets, you know. But it's better if we have the chance that consumers can buy directly from us. So more of what consumers pay get the hands of those working the land. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Guglielmo. I have a question for Alice Cerutti of Cascina, Oschiena. Alice, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes,
thank you.
You were stuck. It was just your image. I would like to say that I totally agree on every word that has been said. And this is exactly also what we are trying to do. And just to add something on the Friend of the Earth certification, I think I am very happy with the certification because I think it's a very exhaustive, all-round certification. I remember when the first time we met that it's much more than zero residuals, but is a matter of how we live, the landscape, the environment, because we are, and totally agree that I'm a small farmer and I know what my responsibility is, that I have to, I am the custodian of the environment. And I strongly believe that today it is not enough to say we respect the environment, we maintain the environment. No, we have to give back to the environment, to nature, for a better future, because it's too late to maintain. This is why we decided to give back 1/4 of our farmland to the natural reserve for birds, for nesting of the birds and biodiversity. And the amazing thing is that, first of all, nature responds right back. So you know that it is the right way to go. Second of all, we live on the farm, so it's a win-win situation, because I don't know if you heard that nature responds right back.
Yes.
If we give back to nature, we live on the farm, so we are the first people to live better, because the quality of life of where we live is better. And also going towards a future of uncertainties, not only COVID, but all the crises we had and the imports, for example, for the rice sector. At the end, we are more resilient, and I really hope that also of COVID will increase the awareness of consumers. And we need more tools like labeling, like origin, like your certification, to guarantee that this quality is well understood and the consumer have the right tools at the end.
Thank you very much, Alice. We are doing our best, but we are open to all suggestions and help from everybody. In order to increase visibility, it's not something that can be done overnight, but gradually I think that has been increased over the recent years. I have a question for Patrick Casley. Patrick, as you will have to turn on the mic then. As your company is involved in two very different products, chicken from poultry and so on, and a fruit in particular, apricots. Can you just tell me, if you are involved in marketing, where do you think you can have a more added value from a certification confirming your engagement to sustainability on meat products or fruit or both or none?
No, there's no the positive effect comes through on the meat and the fruit. Meat is a slightly more controversial topic, so it kind of helps a little more there, I think. Our meat products are more readily visible in supermarket situations, so the co-branding with the Friend of the Earth is more easily presented on the final product. The consumer takes that brand home and they put it in their own fridge, if you understand. So the symbol, one of the biggest problems is the consumer needs to know what this brand suggests, what it means, what it signifies. And that communication has to get through to the consumer. We are now a group of producers, but the producers, especially small producers, can communicate to a small group of people. But big producers who use this can get it into supermarkets, and the consumers who want to see this type of activity can actually find it on the product. The important thing is it to be believable. There are many forms of this type of branding, and the important ones need to come through. They need to be regarded as honest and believable. So, and a lot of work needs to be done on the communication.
Yes, indeed, and I always try to explain also that while organic or bio as a word is regulated by law, so you cannot claim that you are organic on the product unless you are actually certified. Unfortunately, because of the way it developed and so on, sustainability claims are not regulated by law. So what happens is that nowadays any company claims to be sustainable, but very few are actually verified, audited, and under a serious certification at the third-party level. So we are trying to bring this message through. On the one hand, it's positive that the concept of sustainability has spread so widely globally and in various sectors, but we see the need in the near future for some form of regulating this claim, because otherwise the efforts made by the serious companies will be diminished by the inflation of the use of the word sustainability at the global level. Mr. Leone, did you manage to solve the...
Ok, mi sentite?
Oh, wonderful, benissimo.
Bene, ce l'abbiamo
if you don't
fatta.
mind, let's hear what Mr. Leone has to tell us and I will translate.
Sì, allora sono Paolo Leone della cantina Terra dei Re, siamo nel Vulture in Basilicata, ai piedi di un vulcano, e produciamo vino, vini rossi, vini bianchi. Il nostro mercato principale è quello del canale Oreca, quindi non facciamo grande distribuzione, e poi i mercati principali sono quello estero, ovviamente, in particolare USA, Belgio e Giappone.
In the meanwhile, I will translate before the next part of your speech. Terra dei Re is a canteen producer, wine producer, which is based near a volcano. It is producing both white and red wines. Its only target is Horeca, no retail chains, and selling abroad mainly to USA, Belgium, and Japan. COVID can only be won with very high quality. And in fact, Terra dei Re employs one of the most known and professional winemaker specialists in the world, Dr. Riccardo Cottarella. And this approach has made it so that even with COVID, they have no downturn in their revenue.
Per quanto riguarda il nostro lavoro sull'impatto ambientale, è da oltre un decennio che ce ne occupiamo.
Okay, so as far as environmental impact reduction and social accountability, this is a work that was started over 10 years ago by the company. First, by collecting a huge amount of data on energy consumption, transportation, and how much CO2 is consumed, and they managed to calculate it per bottle. And some years ago, it was 1 kilogram of CO2 per bottle, and they managed to lower this dramatically by means of corrective actions such as implementation of photovoltaic systems, a reduction of water footprint, centralized warehouses to reduce transportation. And also, as far as social accountability, they are stricter and stricter on their suppliers, even their historic suppliers, requesting them to engage and allow eventually verification that they are not that they are compliant with the set of requirements. And also during the vendemmia, the harvesting of the wine, they dedicate special welcome houses and program to 100 workers which are activated on the field. Grazie mille anche a lei, signor Paride. Per fortuna ce l'abbiamo fatta. We managed. You might have had something additional to say. Anyway, we're following this meeting. We will also, after your approval, also make available some of the emails so that if you want to network, or at least the LinkedIn profile, so that if you want to network, you can get in touch with each other. If anybody has want to make some final comments, also about your own company, if you want to add up something. I see Mr. Balzarini, the owner of the Parmesan. Maybe we started with you, we can finish with Parmesan, which is such an important product in Italy and worldwide. So I will ask him in Italian what he feels about the interest of the market in regard to sustainability. A final opinion. Un'ultima opinione, signor Balzarini. Non so il suo inglese, può parlarmi in italiano e poi racconto.
Oh, okay, hello everybody. Thank you for organizing this meeting. Yes, the market is very sensitive now to this feature, and so of course, because our goal is not to sell to hypermarket or supermarket, so our goal is to arrive to the consumer, and that's why we decided to give more. So Parmigiano Reggiano is a guarantee itself as a product, because it's a very ruled, so it's a PDO product, so it's very a lot of regulation to follow. But the matter today is to inform more the people what we are doing. So in this aspect. So also because we are one of the 300 dairies making the Parmigiano Reggiano every day, and also our consortium is dedicating more and more time to in this sense.
Benissimo. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I think that we can leave it here and wrap up here. We have been going into much detail about so many different types of production. I think that the lesson we learned today, the most impressive thing is the fact that we got together companies from such different backgrounds, so different products, really covering almost the whole range of food production, and not only. Also, we have seen with Dona Rufina the textile part, and I hope that this can encourage all of us that this is the way to go. And getting back to what I was saying before, to my consideration a few minutes ago, it is important that we do our best to explain consumers, explain your own B2B customers that there is a need to use the power of third-party certification to distinguish those who are really verified sustainable from those who are making generic, unverifiable claims. This is the best way to go. We have seen this with organic. Initially, organic was a big confusion. It still is a bit confusing, but at least now there are guidelines from the EU, and there's a bit more of a homogeneity also in the rules in terms of the procedures to follow for certification. A friend of the sea, a friend of the earth, the World Sustainability Organization, is thinking about in 2021 delivering to the different states, governments, and also the EU and other institutions, a formal request to gradually implement some form of guidelines or regulation related to the sustainability claim. Because I think that this will is the way to go, as it went with organic. Of course, it's a bit more of bureaucracy, but it's the only way to be more verifiable in our claims and monitored by third parties. So I will. We're of course open to your comments, and those of you interested can contact us directly on this subject, and we will anyway get back to you also, to the certified companies, to the companies with certified products, to propose a first draft of the communication that we intend to do to start up this process, which will probably take years, if not decades. But we think that especially in food production, it's the only serious way to proceed, because food is something very important, something that is part of us, that we ingest, that is it becomes part of our body, and so claims around food are the first ones that have to be regulated. Okay, I'll let you go back to your work and your families. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful Christmas or anyway festivities and end of year. Thank you very much.
Grazie, thank you to everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the event.
Thank you.
Grazie, grazie, un saluto a tutti.
Thanks very much.
Grazie, un saluto a
Grazie, un
tutti.
saluto a tutti.
Grazie.
Grazie a tutti.
Grazie a
Bye
tutti.
bye. Thanks.
Bye bye, bye bye.
Bye, ciao.
If you like and wish to be alerted every time we release a new episode, please subscribe and like us. Thank you very much for following us.
Subscribe to our channel to get more content about sustainability.